Hello, hello, and welcome back to some Make and Break. I keep wanting to call it Blender Blunders, but it's actually Make and Break today. What's up? We were just listening to some Fantasy Star Online soundtrack. Best game ever made. Hope everyone enjoyed. Anyway, I just ate a bunch of Panda Express crab rangoons. I'm feeling pretty spicy right now. I'm feeling pretty good. And today, the plan. Hey, Simo. The plan is to make a little pool party. I'm starting to feel a little bit more abstract. I'm starting to feel a little bit more capable. That's going to come back to bite me in the ass. I feel like I can do stuff now. So I'm going to try and just do stuff. And if it fails, who cares? It fails, whatever. So we're going to make a little pool party. So I'm going to block out the scene a little bit, and we're just going to kind of dig into it for a little bit here. So, the question remains, how are we making a pool party? What are we actually going to do here? Well, let's start. Actually, I should put on some music first. That would probably be a good way to start. Is my mic coming in correctly? I've been getting a little bit of weird static for the past day, and I thought I solved that problem, so hopefully the static is gone. But yeah, we're just going to start with like a block of a pool right here. I actually want this pool to be pretty deep. Spoilers. We haven't even started. I'm already spoiling it. The idea for me is to set a little building underneath the pool here. It's still quite low volume, but okay otherwise. Simo, I'm going to have to solve that somehow. I don't know how we're solving that. Honestly, let's take a moment real quick. Let's see if I can't solve it. Okay, well, you can't boost anything in Streamlabs, which is really unfortunate. Hold on, let's go into sound settings real quick. No, it's literally as maxed out as it can be. All right, I guess we're just gonna be quiet boys today. Whatever. Oh well. I'll have to like Google it or something. My Windows is maxed out. My mic is as high as it'll go before it peaks, and like everything's set. So I don't know why we're so quiet. All right. So pool. There's a lot of ways that I can do this pool. There's a lot of wrong ways to do the pool. I think I'm gonna do the wrong way, and I think Simo's gonna try and kill me. So here we go. I'm gonna get an icosphere. Also, yeah, this can stay there. That's a fine collection for this. We're gonna do this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop this into sculpt mode. We're gonna double check our size, and we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna make the interior of a pool. And I'm going to kind of work backwards to see if I can make this into something reasonable. But I don't know how you make, like, a pool. There's probably actually a better way to do this. No. I'm not doing this. There's a better way to do this. We're going to grab this, and we're going to inset a hole in it. And I'm going to do a million subdivisions on this thing until we get what we want. So we'll say like that. We'll say like 0.4. That's probably the pool. How big are people in comparison to this? Valley of the Suck. What is that? I have not heard of that. Valley of the Suck. I think I just figured out my new Twitch name. Valley of the Suck. What could that even mean? Is that like Uncanny Valley but for talent? We'll put the pool like here. Right about there should be fine. Okay. And we will extrude along normals to make an actual pool. This whole thing feels way too small for me. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. And we're going to decrease our margins a little bit just to kind of emphasize that the pool's big. It's kind of like Uncanny Valley, but it refers to the stage when you were doing art and it looks horrible and you question everything. Okay, I do understand that. I understand that a lot. I was actually having a conversation with my partner a few days ago. Um, for anybody who is unaware, I am in the process of writing a book. I've been working on a series of books for years at this point. That's how you feel with Snufkin's face? You want to post it, or do you want to keep that private since you're having some trouble with it? I've been working on a series of books for a long time now, intentionally. I mean, I could be finished faster if I wanted to, but I care about the quality, so I'm not going fast. And I was reading it the other day. I was reading over some early chapters that I wrote, and I sort of had a moment where I was like, this is good. And then I felt kind of weird because I'm like, aren't artists supposed to not like their art? So does that mean that it's actually bad? And I sort of struggled with that for a little bit. Does me liking my artwork mean that my artwork isn't good? I don't know. That's a hard thing to sort of wrap your brain around, I think. Speaking of which, I don't know how to wrap my brain around this, what we're currently looking at. I'm going to try doing like 5 of these. Probably more, actually. I'm going to do like 9. I think the relationship artists have with their work can be pretty damaging just in general. I think it's very strange how people consider their own artwork. Like, it makes some sense, right? Like, their criticism is good for the creative process, but like, to a degree, like you can't hate your work. Honestly, I would rather be in the camp of obliviously liking myself and sucking. Would be so much happier. Well, I hope I'm not in that camp. Let me put that out there. I hope that's not me. Like, I hope my stuff is actually good. I guess you can't know, right? Who can ever know? But like, I want to be a proficient artist. I want to have like stuff that I can be proud of. All right. Anyway, talking about being proud of stuff, I'm just working on a pool right now. We want inverse square. And having a little bit of a scoop, I think that's interesting. Kind of looks like a basketball court. Maybe a little bit of a fancy basketball court. So we'll take that. And now we're going to divide this into some sections. Whoa, that is a weird looking scoop right there. Okay, so we'll divide this maybe 4 times. And I will just grab them and go. Nope. Okay, so we still have a full loop being made here. We still have a what I would refer to as a cylinder, despite it not actually being a cylinder. So let's go ahead and just be a little mindful of that moving forward. So we're just going to make a nice deep little pool. The idea for me is that this pool is huge, but we're working with kind of a limited palette here, so it's kind of difficult to tell what big is right now. So like, that should be a shallow one. That should be like a human's body right there. So that is the best of my understanding of how big this thing is. So anyway, we're going to be working on a pool for a little bit today. If anybody has suggestions, feel free. I would recommend that you use the channel points with the speed sketch category if you want to suggest anything pool related. You can see all of my categories over here that I plan on working on. But I don't have any like dead set plans. So like, we're not going to stress too much if we don't do all of that stuff. Struggling a little bit to understand the proportions of a pool. Oh, that looks good. That looks perfect, actually. So, like, just get a little... Actually, we want to keep it a little on the light side in this shallow end. And then we're going to do a big drop-off right here, just as we've done. And then we'll take it. And we'll say this is the deep end. And this pool looks a little uncanny for my tastes. But we'll get there, I guess. Also, I cannot control click for some reason. I'm not sure what happened to the end of the pool here. So, the goal for me, looking at this pool, is that all of this should be pushed back a little bit. We're going to make the shallow end a little bit bigger and the deep end a little bit bigger. And we're going to keep that middle divide kind of the way that it is. So we'll say it looks about that. And then we'll go ahead and do some edge sliding. So let's go ahead and edge slide that all the way back to here. And this one can be edge slid. Hello? Can be edge slid like right there. And then this one can be edge slid a little further back. And then we'll have enough place for somebody to dive, I think. Do some inflatable floaters. Yeah, we can do that for sure. We're going to have to go to Google to double check what those things look like, but I have no problem doing that at all. That sounds lovely. If you haven't had cream cheese rangoons, do yourself a favor and go get some. They're kind of killing my voice right now, but my God, were they nice. What a decadent like thing that we have. Like if you went back to medieval times and you showed that to somebody, they would lose their goddamn minds. They'd be like, "What have you done? What have you made?" All right, so that's a pretty decent looking pool, I would say. It's a little boring. I don't mind it being a little bit boring. We're playing with kind of a huge scale on this thing. So it's a little bit hard to imagine how big this thing actually is. Let's make a human real quick. I'm going to use Minecraft logic because I'm not good at making humans, that's for sure. Okay, so we got a block, right? I'm going to go ahead and grab the block, and we're going to go ahead and say it is 2 on the Z, and that is a human. How big is a human? Let's put some human references here. Just for the sake of figuring out how big this pool is, what is a human look like? This is the big thing that I should be keeping in mind while I'm 3D modeling. Is that a human? How many humans could you fit in this pool? That's actually a pretty good-sized pool. Let's go a little smaller. Let's say that's a person. So here's a person who's kind of wading above the water. That's a huge pool. Cool. So this is our new measurement. This is what I'm going off of. Which means that people could fit all along here, no problem. Yeah, I like this. That's good. That's a human. Okay. So now we make the human make sense. Okay, so the human needs to be able to touch the ground. That looks all right to me. That's pretty good. We might even go a little bit deeper. And right at the entrance here, we'll say these 4. I'll go up ever so slightly more. That's a pool, right? Perfect. So now let's grab all of this and we're just going to adjust accordingly, make our smoothing ramp a little bit better. And I don't think the pool needs to be this deep, but I also really like a deep pool, so who cares if it's this deep? Yeah, we'll go a little bit higher on the pool, but otherwise, we're here. That's a huge pool. Okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and pop you up here. We're gonna pop you up here. We're in object mode, and this is the actual pool. And this is our human reference 1. We'll probably have a few of them. I could sit and smooth out some stuff later. We'll see what we end up doing with these guys. Alright, so you want some inflatable floaties. Let's do that now. I'm going to give myself like a very short amount of time to work on suggestions, because I think it's better for me mentally that way. So let's go for it. I'm going to pop open some Firefox as it loads. Alright, let's see what we want. Let's not show off all of our data real quick. Pool floaties. I should really set it up in like incognito mode or something when I do this, but you know, nothing's bad happened yet, so I guess I'm just chilling. Okay, we don't want a floaty. We want like water wings. Yeah, we want water wings. Oh gosh, these look crazy. How are we gonna do this? I kind of feel like using a bevel with clamp, like clamp overlap, is gonna be the way that we solve this. Yeah, okay. I have an idea. So let's go ahead and we're gonna grab our normal scene. I'm gonna add a torus. We're gonna work on it over here. I did the thing I wasn't supposed to do, but that's fine because I can shrink or flatten. That is a thing that we were able to do. Let's see here. If I knew how to do it, that is. Let's go ahead and F3 flatten, shrink, flatten, mesh transform, shrink, flatten. There we go. So that's our base. So it looks like that. Maybe a little bit bigger. There we go. Now we gotta mess this thing up. We gotta make it look crazy. It's gotta have creases on it. So I'm gonna go to sculpt mode. In fact, I'm going to shade it smooth, and then we're gonna go to sculpt mode. And I'm gonna start creasing and inflating pieces of it. Right, that's kind of what it looks like. And then we'll use a little bit of fabric to sort of mess it up a little bit. Like that. And then we're gonna want to puff out little sections of it, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of smoothing as well. So we wanna like pop it up a little bit. And then I'm gonna grab the whole thing. We're just gonna do, whoa, too much. Holy cow. I don't know why my strength always starts at 0.7. That seems like a bad play. It's probably my default startup settings. I should probably change those. I just changed them the other day, but I can change them again. Not a big deal. And, you know, it's not my favorite little pool floaty in the world, but I think it works. So we'll do it like that. And then I'll come in here and we'll do a little bit of extra. Try to force them closed a little bit. it overlaps kind of not in a fun way, but I think when we shade it, that might not be a problem. So let's try just doing it. I'm gonna add a little bit of smooth just to sort of round that bit out. Maybe a little bit on the bottom here. And that's not bad. Okay, cool. So that's part one of the pool floaty. Part two is I gotta add that little inflatable bit. Oh, I kind of like the ones that have a little crinkle in them too. Hold on. Let's add a crinkle to this guy. So, pool floaty, sculpt with a crinkle right here. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Never mind. It's a single pool floaty. It doesn't have a crinkle. Too bad. Alright, let's put a little guy on here. If we're being really dumb about it, and we are, we're going to make the little inflatable bit an extra piece. Oh gosh, these are weird looking pieces of plastic. How the heck am I going to do this? Looking at pool floaties is kind of weird. I'm going to stop. Some weird images on there. If I see like little kids, like pictures of little kids swimming at a pool, it just kind of like makes me think of Dan Schneider, and I really just don't vibe with that. So I'm gonna back on out of there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of this. Pop them on over here. And we're going to rotate it. Yeah, that should be fine. Actually, let's not rotate it yet so I can keep my geometry correct. And we'll go ahead and do the actual transformation stuff now. Let's see here. We want to grab all of you. What? We're going to extrude along normals on up. That's not what I wanted. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing. Let's pop it in. And am I going to cut corners on this? That is the big question. I'm looking at it. It looks pretty complicated. Oh gosh, they make these things so weird, don't they? You know what? I'm going to cut a little bit of a corner, but I think you're going to be pretty proud of the result. I'm going to do a little bit of this. And then we're going to extrude along normals like that. But I'm going to grab all of these, and we're going to do that. And I'm looking at the reference. And we're going to want to grab you. Something is going on my Instagram. We'll take a look at that in just a second here. It's probably my friend that I sent a picture to right before I started stream. Okay, so we got it like this. And then going back to our reference, this part specifically needs to be pushed back here like that. And we're going to proportion it very carefully with a sphere. And by a sphere, I mean a sharp. Only connected. There we go. That's actually really good looking. Honestly, I'm not going to take slack for this. This looks great. This is good as it gets. Look at that. Cool. So for the sake of what we're doing here, I can go ahead and cut off this part. And I can go ahead and just connect all of these guys. Hello? And we're done. That's a pool floaty. So let me go ahead and pop her around and make her look right. Now, I'm kind of inclined to attempt to put a few of these here, but I think it might be funnier if there's just one. That's way more like the pool aesthetic, is that a kid left a pool floaty. So I think we're going to leave that. Let's leave it like that. Okay, so let's grab both of these, and they are now a unit. Why do they shrink at different ratios? Oh, I'm dumb. I checked a setting. No, I didn't. Okay, I guess we're joining these things together. I didn't want to do that, but that's what we're doing. There we go. And we'll go put it next to our human reference to see how big the human is, and we'll figure it out. Now, the next question that I have on my mind is, what are we doing for water? Are we actually going to model water, or are we going to assume? What are we doing? I think the answer is we have to model water. We'll say that's about the size of a pool floaty. And the pool floaty is going to go way off in a corner here somewhere. It's going to be like there. For now, you'll be there. So we'll just set you on the ground and we'll call it a day. I might need to put you in a little like bin or something so you don't blow away when the wind comes, but I don't know yet. Okay, water. I'm going to do the water last because it's just going to be in the way the whole time. Plane with a displacement texture. That's probably fine, but what if you go under the water? We're going to call this pool floaty, and I'm going to call it merged or joined, just so we know later if I start looking for the extra little piece, it's there. Okay, so let's just get into some stuff now. I kind of wanted to put a fountain here, but I'm thinking that's a really dumb idea now that I'm thinking about it. So let's make a diving board. I think that's going to be the first thing we do here. A diving board. So I'm just going to Google it real quick. No need to even really stress about it. We're just going to go for it. Wow, there's a lot of different kinds of diving boards. I thought it was kind of set in stone. I thought it was kind of an easy thing. Apparently not. There's 1,000 different types of diving boards. Ain't that just weird? Okay, that's the style that I wanted. I wanted just the basic, bare bones, boring diving board. Come on. Give me a picture of that thing. Give me a picture of this diving board. How do diving boards look? Why? Pool diving board. What the heck? Okay, fine. We'll do a fancy one, I guess. They really don't want us to have just the basic one. They all look really weird. So I'm going to grab a crazy looking one. I tried to get normal. I tried not to be weird on this one, but weirdness found us. So here's a diving board from the 70s. It's like the most common one that shows up on Google for some reason. I just wanted the one that had that little like circle bar on there, but I can't find it. So this is it. This is what we're doing. All right, a diving board. In my mind, a diving board could be made out of skateboard material, but I think that's a little not in the correct vein. So let's not do that. Instead, we're just going to push it down to size. We'll say that's about a diving board, and it's going to be like that. Okay. Now, I have a legitimate question. Did pirates invent diving boards? I'm starting to think about it, and isn't like off with the plank. Isn't that a diving board? Did pirates make diving boards? Because I think they did. Actually, I don't want that. I want to copy this. This is going to be called our diving board. And I'm going to put you... Where's the diving board? Why did I not put a diving board on here? Oh, I wrote pool fountain twice. Is the plank thing even real, though? Alright. You forced my hand. Did pirates use planks? Does that mean that this thing is going to be a pirate-themed pool? Because you bet it's going to be at this point. The blindfolded captive prodded by cutlasses, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Hello? Fact check. Get out of here with these pop-ups. No wonder people use ad block on you. Turn the plank into a visual icon of all pirate storytellers to come. This doesn't help at all. Walking the plank was a method of execution practiced on special occasions by pirates, mutineers, and other rogue seafarers. So yes, it was real. There's a publication in 1788 that talks about it. There's accounts from 1769. It's real. If you're the kind of person that doesn't trust Wikipedia, then whatever, I guess. Good luck. Okay, we're here in diving board. We're going to go ahead and make this the diving board holder. And I'm going to make it just a little bit on the skinnier side. And I'm pretty sure all we want to do is to go into edit mode and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts. Which means 4 cuts, if I'm being realistic. There we go. So I think all we want to do is grab this whole thing, scooch it on back, push it on up. Maybe extend it just a little bit. There we go. I also want to make it a little bit skinnier than the whole thing. There we go, just like that. And we're going to grab this whole section and this whole section and raise them up evenly. And we're done. I mean, it's like just as easy as that, right? That's a diving board. To Google standards, this is what a diving board looks like. If I'm being extra specific, we'll go ahead and reduce these down. What the heck? What the heck? Why did that not work? Hold on. What? Why doesn't this work? What happened? Hold on. Well, I must have clicked like a weird setting somewhere. You click that, and I want them to be scaled together. What? In what world? Can I move them? I can move them. Very weird. Negative 0.1. Alright, whatever. We're going to just take it as is. I'm going to pretend that didn't just happen. And we'll scooch all of this back a little bit. Nice and on there. And for the sake of argument, I will try and give it a little bit of a bevel. And we'll say, what does that look like? Looks pretty good. Oh, that's a look right there. She looks great. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's that. Let's put some screws in it. I could sit and work on these screws forever, I think, but instead, I think we're just going to go for hexagons. And maybe I'll pop the top a little bit to make it look authentic, but come on now, we're not trying to do all that. And this is going to be a diving board. Done. I could probably actually join the screws to the body, the like little bracket here at the bottom, because they're going to be made out of the same material, I think. So I don't think there's any harm in joining these guys together. And let's give it a little bit of a rotation. And we'll go ahead and mirror it across the diving board holder. Oh, I see. We have to set origin to geometry. There we go. And then I'm going to copy you, remove the diving board holder. So this is screws, we'll call this diving screws 1, and we'll call you diving screws 2. And we're on diving screws 2, so we're going to come back, and go up. And I think we only need 1 here. I will, okay, hold on. Got an idea. Honestly, this is fine. We'll take it just like this. This is good. Okay, so I'll put the mirror on and we'll put it to the diving board. And by diving board, I meant diving board holder. We're set. Bada boom, we've done it. Excuse me. Just been sneezing all day. I need to put socks on. I'll be right back. I'm going to put socks on. It's been pollen season lately. There's been a lot of weird changing temperatures outside. It's time for some socks. And I think I will try to do a little bit of the actual like modeling setup stuff now while we're here. Because I certainly have a lot of ideas for it. So let's go ahead and hit apply on there. That could be a real problem, but I'm going to go for it. We're going to join all that together as diving holder. And I can grab both of these guys now, and we can throw you on up. And I'm going to see if our proportion stuff works correctly, because it's been a little weird today. Okay, how big is a human? Usually it comes back a little bit. Okay, that's a human right there. Diving boards usually are like pretty close to human sized. So I think we want to come just a little bit smaller. Why are you so desynchronized? I don't get it. I don't get what is happening with this. Honestly, I can separate by loose parts again if I have to. Something is really wrong with our scale. I messed it up somehow. Diving board joined. Something got really screwy here. Alright, let's do it. Let's hit this thing. And we'll go into edit. And I'm going to grab the end of it and just pull it out a little bit. There we go. That looks good. It's a pretty big pool. Okay, so what do we want to be doing now? Well, here's my thought. Let's go into the pool. Let's go actually into the pool. And I'm going to grab all these faces. And we're going to, like, actually remove the tile part of this from the rest of it. Because I think what we want to be doing is doing a separate material, but I also want the ability to kind of edit without worrying about topology. So we're going to do it like this, I believe. And I'm going to go ahead and separate selection. Correct. Okay, so that's pool 2. So this is going to be called deck, and this is going to be called pool. And what do we want to do? First, let's start with the deck. We can remove the pool part. And I'm going to grab all of these guys and dissolve. Everything else is pretty alright. We'll keep it as is. And then I'm going to grab all of this. And we're going to bring it down just a little bit. Just like there. Why am I doing this? So that I can grab all of this and extrude along normal ever so slightly. So now, when I go back to pool, it should come in a little bit. It does. So we're looking pretty golden on that front. It actually is a little too much, I think. Oh, there we go. That works. We'll do it like that. And then I'm going to grab this whole thing, and we're going to just come out just a little bit. And yeah, perfect. So that's a pool. That's a little lip of a pool. That's the part that kids monkey on and do all that sort of stuff. It should probably actually be even a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go grab S, or grab Z. And then we're going to grab both of these guys, and I'm going to go S. Like that. Oh, perfect. We did it. Cool. There's a pool for you. And now that I'm really looking at it, I think that the pool part is a little too high at the back here. So we're going to go ahead and lower that, and then we'll call it. Yeah, it looks about right to me. I'll grab just a couple of edges on the side here, and we're going to make it a little bit more interesting. Same thing over here. Come on. Actually, let's just do one side now. As much asymmetry as I can throw into this thing, the better. Get me out of there. Okay. A little bit of a pool. There we go. So now, I think that we're here. We want to grab all of this stuff. And we want to put a little bit of a bevel on it. Because pools don't have flat edges like that. They have little scoops. Probably a little bit too much, so we'll say 0.05. Hey, look at that. That's a pool. So if I took this whole thing and I shaded it smooth, I mean, tell me that doesn't look like a pool. That looks good. So I'll have to sit in UV, unwrap it a little bit, and we'll put some tiles on there. So I think let's just jump right into that. Let's start doing that right now. So time to do a little bit of material stuff. I can get rid of that. The diving board's gone. All right. So the UV unwrapping for this is probably going to be a number 1 for us. Everything else is pretty straightforward. I'm going to make sure our world settings are set up correctly. I'm going to use our default because every time I try to use anything else, it backfires for us. So I'm just going to go for that. And let's go to object and let's see it. All right, so what do we want? What does a pool look like? I'm going to say it's a color ramp. And it's got to have a Musgrave. That's pretty high. I'm going to say like 150. It's probably going to be a bit bigger than that, but we'll go up a little bit on that and we'll lower the dimension down. I'm a big fan of the 0.5 dimension. I think it looks good. 250. 400. There we go. That's about right. Even this little ridge has a little bit of it. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. And we'll stick to 3D. The lachronicity, which is a word that I just mispronounced very badly. We're going to keep that a little simple. Actually, we'll just keep it 2. Dimension can be lowered a little bit more, I think. Get it really crazy up in here. And we just got to choose some pool colors. So, pools. What colors are pools? Usually they have a hint, the tiniest hint of blue. And like just a little off. There we go. Oh, it's hard to look at. I'm going blind. It should probably also be a little bit on the blue side. There we go. Oh, that doesn't look bad at all. Very cool. Okay. So what is the actual, for the sake of my eyes, I'm going to put a converter in here real quick, and then we'll come back. Because we're going to kill ourselves if we keep thinking about it like this. So let's lower that value just a little bit. There we go. That's a little easier to look at. Okay. So we probably want a lot of specular. We probably want a low roughness. Although they are kind of rough. I'm not sure. We'll keep it like this for now, and we'll come back. Alright. Let's keep it simple for the time being. Now, the tiles. This is where we're going to struggle. Because there's part of me that really wants to try and do something complicated. I want to try and do hexagon tiles. And I vaguely understand the vector math behind it, but I want to see if there's a easier way for me to do that. I think I might be able to put in a Verneuil, and if I dial it in correctly, I think I might be able to make it work. So check it out. We're going to lower the randomness. I mean, it already kind of works. Oh, that's kind of a pattern. That's kind of funky already. Okay, so let's get going. Manhattan, Euclidean. Oh, hey, 0.33. That's kind of what I wanted. It's a little weird, for sure. Also, my phone is really going off. I don't know what is going on. I got sent a bunch of photos on Instagram, just as I thought. So we're just going to ignore it. Okay. So, what are we doing here? Smooth to F1. This could work if we use a clamp. What if... Hold on. I got it. I know how to do it. We're going to put a brick in here, and the vector is going to be this. Oh, it works. Oh, it totally works. We just have to clamp it. So let's put a color ramp on here. And it's going to be constant between white and black. That didn't work at all. Why not? What the heck? Why did that not work? Hold on. Color me very confused. I thought for sure that would work. Okay, never mind. We want maybe positions for the vectors. Oh, color me very confused. I do not understand what's going on here. Okay, so if the mortar is bright red, one of you is going to be bright blue, and one of you is going to be bright green. Yeah, it doesn't hold as well as it should. I think that's the best we're going to be able to do with this. Which is kind of a real shame. Yeah, I think that's the best we can do with it. Hold on. Hold on. Now we're thinking. Whoa, there's some funky whatever. Okay, I kind of love this. That looks like a crazy pool. This looks like the kind of pool you would see in a place. Having it as 2D is interesting, although I don't know if I love that. 1D is going to do nothing. Yep. Man, there's too much here. I'm like running out. I'm losing it. I thought for sure this was gonna work. Okay. So instead, let's go back to base color. And if I just color ramp this and make a bunch of strange colors out of it, we shouldn't really have a problem, I think. Like if we go 30, now we got a little bit everywhere. Yeah, let's do it like this. This is fine. I think this is an interesting design for a pool. It's a little harsh. You could call this a little unprofessional, and I think I would agree with that statement, but I'm sort of not against it. Okay, so what colors do we want? We want that really lovely, like, pool blue. And we probably want, like, a little sagey sort of green, I think. What's that, like, Ford's green color? Like that? The one that all the kids are obsessed with nowadays? I want to say it's like that color? I think we should add... Oh, it is smoothed. Oh, no. Okay, so how are we going to make it a little nicer to look at than this? Oh, man, I've lost it. I like the color scheme a lot, but I think we've lost it. I think I'm not thinking correctly. Is there a different way to do this? Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. This is going to be the physics thing all over again. By the way, I went and edited that that oven last night. I just decided to like go check it out and see if I could fix up some stuff. It broke again. The physics just like reset once I opened the saved file. They were like, nah, we're just gonna do our own thing. So once again, I do not have wood stocked in that little shelf area. I don't know why it doesn't want to work, but that's just the way of things. This is not going to work. No, man, how on earth would you do this? Yeah, it's pretty weird. I don't know why. It had that little funky icon that we looked up that one time. So I'm assuming there's something to do there, but yeah, I don't really get it. Like, this is nothing, right? This is not a pool. This is dumb. This is like what rich people get when they like have too much money and they don't know what to do with it. Oh, actually, now that I took the roughness down, I think we might be onto something. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's put the distortion at 2 and the scale down to 1. Do I hate this? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just see it. Oh, it looks pretty cool. Okay, no, no, no. We gotta... This green can't be here. I want to save that green for later, though. No, I can make it. I made it so fast. I can make it again. Who cares? So we're going to do no saturation, white tile, maybe a little bit of color. I really like that it made a circle here above the diving board. I think that's interesting. Are we settled on this? This is a little chaotic. It's interesting. If I went to a pool that looked like this, I'd be like, okay. It would make a little bit of sense. So that's kind of the result we're looking for. Might make more sense to put a darker shade here. All right, let's look at pool decks. Pool decks. What do pools look like? They have brick. I hate the idea of brick. Although a lot of them have brick. Let's look up hotel pools. A lot of them have tile. That's unfortunate. They have some rock in them. They got that beige. The beige could work. of them have tile. So many of them have tile. That's unfortunate. How unfortunate. How absolutely unfortunate that is. Okay, whatever. So let's do it. Why not? Who cares, right? Let's go ahead and grab our deck here. And what I'm actually going to do is we're going to grab all of this and delete it, and all of this and delete it, and all of this and delete it. So we should be neutral with our base, right? We are. So now I will grab the pool. I'm going to make a face like that. We're going to... Hello. We're going to grab that face and extrude along normals ever so slightly. This will work, sure. We'll grab that face and we'll grab that face. And I'm going to separate selection. And we're going to call this pool lip. I'm going to copy it, and then we're going to undo everything we just did. Okay, and we're back, and I'm going to paste it. And now we have the pool lip, and I'm going to go ahead and make it just a little bit larger. We're just going to go scale up. What the heck happened over here? Okay, hold on, we gotta fix this. I realize what happened. We need to grab Z0. What? Grab Z0. Why is that not working? Why does that not work? Hold on. Grab Z0. What? Grab Z0. Okay, I don't know why that doesn't work. What the heck? What about if I grab all of these bottom faces and we try it again? Grab Z0. Nothing. Why? Simo, you got any clue why this is happening? Like, my whole interface is, like, pretty messed up today for some reason. Well, I guess the other way that we can do this. Here's the let's pretend we didn't have, like, you know, good whatever moving forward. I could just do this. We could just make sure that it's all lined up with each other, and that should be fine. And so there should be a few on the side here. There are. So I will do the same thing to you. You right there, and you right there. And we'll go back. And we'll pop you guys up. Grab Z. Look at that. This is not the most ideal way to be solving this problem, but it is a way to solve the problem. Okay, there's one. There's two. And we're going for it. Also, there's a missing side here. I'm going to pretend I don't see that. Simo, I don't know what's up, but the like move, click an axis and press 0 just isn't working anymore, like at all. So I'm having to do things manually. Also, our scaling is like messed up. So I'm not sure I really understand anything that's going on right now. So we're just kind of doing it right now. We're just doing the bulk of the work. To anybody that is better at 3D modeling than me, I apologize for what you're seeing. I'm not sure why the easy way isn't working. It should be faster than this. But, you know, you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. Sometimes Blender just doesn't want to comply. Sometimes it forces you to do what it does. Okay, so grab Z0. All the way there. And we'll grab the last one, which for some reason we didn't grab on the other side. Okay, whatever. Are we set? We are. And we're good. So, all that being said, what are we looking at? If I did everything correctly, we should have a pool. We should have a pool that looks nice and orderly and even on all sides, and it does. It looks fine. Very good. Goodness me. Why was that so hard? So, I want to grab all of this, and if you know pools, and of course you know pools, they have a little bit of a lip here. They come up just a little bit. Not that much. Not that much. Come on. There we go. That's the lip we wanted. And we'll go ahead and grab all of this, and we'll put that down, and we'll scale it out just a little bit. Okay, now we can get back to the bulk of the work. So, we are here. I'm going to go ahead and put in some grout on this thing. We're going to call this pool tile. What do we want? We want to make a new one. That is grout. What color is grout? Grout is like a brown, black, pretty low saturation sort of color. It's very rough. It's very bumpy. It's going to have basically no specular. It's going to be very rough. It's going to have no sheen, no clear coat. Could probably add a little bit of a bump to it, so that's what I'm going to do. We're going to add a Musgrave. And if I do this correctly, let's see here. Let's do like a 200. Didn't like that. Really doesn't like that. Why does it not like that? Okay, we're going to hold off on that for now. We're going to leave it as is. And then now I got to tile this. Luckily for me, I can tile it using just a 2D. So I'm going to call you edging. Leave your jokes behind. And now I will go ahead and do this part with some tile. Bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. You'll be called pool tile. We're gonna go ahead and probably have to make you a brick texture, but I gotta make it wild. How are we gonna do this? Just thinking off the cusp here. How am I going to do this? I think what we want to do is we want to put in a Verneuil That's based on color. It's going to be smooth to F1. It's going to be not random at all. Little to no smooth. The grout is definitely an issue here. Why is it doing this? What the heck? Scale. Oh gosh, it can get pretty wild, can't it? We can make some pretty weird looking stuff, that's for sure. Maybe I don't want to use brick. Let's try like this for just a little bit. Okay, so we have this. I'm going to scale it to 20. And then we're going to do our best to randomize the heck out of this thing. This is where we get into, like, no man's land. Like, everything is circular. I want straight edges. I want it to feel, like, so deliberate. How would you pattern a straight brick? Oh gosh, this is tough. This is like a lot to think about all at once. Let's switch to checker. Ooh, checker works. Okay, perfect. Yep. So we'll do one black, one white. And we just want it to be a little bit strange. But we still need to put a space between them. I got it. I got it. I got it. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Are you prepared? Are you prepared? I know how to do it. I fixed it. I solved it. We're here. We're going to go color to here. I'm going to make a constant. And all I need to do is use its own data for it, I think. Oh, it doesn't help that it's white. Hold on. Let's make it like red. Let's make it like red and blue. Oh. Oh. Oh, we're close. We're so close to it. Okay. Gradients. Oh, no. It's almost like we have to use the actual checker texture to make the checker texture. Oh, this is a lot to think about. Okay, so if I tried to do this with a brick texture, why does this not work with a brick texture? Hold on. Let's go back one moment real quick. Why does this not work with a brick texture? If we go color to vector, color to color, it does work. Oh, it's because the mortar is counting as a brick. Oh, very frustrating. The mortar counts as a brick. This is crazy. This is a lot to think about. Okay, well, I think we're gonna have to take a concession for right now. I'll just do this for now. We'll go back and fix this later. But I just don't have time to fix it right now. So let's do a cube project. And by cube project, I mean smart. What, why? Okay, I guess we're doing it like that for now. And then we will go ahead and take this whole thing, and we'll just make some nice little bricks out of it. So scale is going to be like 20. I would love to have a way different looking setup than this, but oh well. 0.01 on the mortars, make them very small. All right, and now we just make a little bit of brick, just like that. And it's not my favorite thing in the world, but it is a pool. It will work. And it should reflect light decently well off of its surface. Spoilers, this is going to be for a nighttime scene. So reflecting light's going to revolve way more on like neon lights and stuff like that than it is on the actual sun. But yeah, there we go. It reflects. You can see it. Reflects pretty nice. Okay, let's move on to the next part. That was a little frustrating. That was not my favorite thing that's ever happened in the world. But we'll live. Oh, while we're here, we'll go ahead and we'll call you pool tile. We'll go ahead and do this. Oh, I see. We got to go ahead and separate these guys real quick. Separate by loose parts. Now that we got it all set up correctly, we can do that. I believe everything else can be merged back together. And we're going to make that some chrome. Nice and simple chrome. We're not even going to think about it. It's just chrome. Super, super easy to make chrome. It's got a weird normal right here. I don't know where that's coming from. But it's chrome, right? Who cares? It's pretty easy to make. There we go. Now the diving board. Diving boards, they always have this color. Like almost always, they have that color. Like just a little white mint. Why do they have that color? Why are diving boards colored like that? I'm looking at all of them. All of them are that color. Every single one is that color. So that's the color it's got to be. Can't be anything else. Okay, so I'm actually going to up the roughness on this. I'm looking at the contrast right now, and it looks a little weird. That's going to be our diving board. I could bevel it a little bit. I'll do that later. It's pretty glossy. It shouldn't be rough at all. And I'll just remove sheen, because I always remove sheen. And that's it. That's a diving board. Done. While we're here, we'll go ahead and do this little pool floaty. I've been waiting for a moment to make this specific pattern, so I'm going to make a very specific pattern. I've wanted to do this for a little while now. It's a very easy pattern to make, but it's a pattern I love nonetheless. So we're going for it. It is a wave texture. It is going to be diagonals. It's going to use saw. It's going to have high detail, low detail scale. Distortion is going to go through the roof. Oh wait, actually, maybe detail's low. 2. Yeah, that's about right. Distortion is going to go even more through the roof. Not that crazy. And that's basically it. The scale can come down a little bit to 3. I'm going to also separate this by loose parts. Let's go ahead and call this pool accessories. And we'll go ahead and throw the pool floaties in there. And then I will go into edit mode. We'll grab everything and we will separate by loose parts. And with that, we can go back to object mode. We can grab you. You are different. You are floaty inflator. I don't know what you call those things. Okay, so we're on the pool floaty. So what's the color scheme on this bad boy? Well, it's got two colors. It's got this purpley red, and it's got this blue. Like that. Blue's going to become a little bit more prominent right there. Red's going to become a little bit more prominent right there. And the black stays like that. And that's it. Super simple. I got inspired based off of a controller I was looking at, because I was looking at some custom controllers online, just recreationally. And I saw this and I thought it was just like the coolest design ever. It's very modern. Very what the kids are into. So we'll call this red wave pattern, and that might show up a little bit around the pool. Who knows? This one, we're going to go ahead and make a new texture. We're going to call you plastic, because that's all you are. You're just plastic. And as far as I can tell, all it is its transmission up. Roughness to 5, or maybe even a little bit higher. Sheen down, that down, roughness goes down. And it's like a piece of plastic, right? There's not much more to it than that. I might actually lower the transmission just a little bit to get more of that white. And we'll change it to that bluish kind of white, and we're there. It's the little inflatable bit for a pool floaty, no problem. Cool. So next up, what are we working on? I think we got a little stuck in the process, but I think we're making pretty good time now. I mean, this is definitely a lot to work with to begin with. I just dislike the texture on the pool and the tile, but that's personal preference. Who cares, right? We'll live. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back to Firefox. And we're going to look at pool inflatables. If anybody has any good ideas for what you would like to be the inflatable in the pool, let me know. I'm kind of feeling whatever right now. If it's up to me, I'm probably going to do a swan. Although a watermelon wouldn't be terrible. What the heck? You could just rip the head off of it? Okay. I'd rock that. What do we want? What do we want? Oh, a shark is pretty good. Oh, the shark is pretty good. Oh man, I like the shark. If I do the shark, I'm gonna have to design it though in Krita, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not what we're like planning on doing right now. Oh! Yo, no. It's too specific. It's way too specific. I could get in trouble, I think, for doing that. What do we want? What do we want? I think watermelon's an interesting choice. I think I might just go with watermelon. That tiger's pretty dope, though. You know what? We're doing a tiger. Screw it. I love this guy. He's so cool. This is the coolest guy I've ever seen. All right, tiger it is. Back to Blender. I'm going to go ahead and put our cursor right there. And we are going to add maybe an icosphere of like 3. That could work. And I'll go ahead and pop in the tiger. Hello? Come here. Stop. Just come over here. There we go. All right. So we got a tiger. How are we going to make this work? Oh, I think I just have to sculpt him. Let's just sculpt him. Why not? Who cares? We're going to put on a y-axis. Yep. Okay. Here he comes. Here comes Mr. Tiger. We'll up our resolution, and then we'll decrease it again later. So I'm just going to keep remeshing until we get the size that we want. His head comes up pretty straight. It's not as back as I thought it was. So, there we go. And I can honestly probably remesh it myself before we try and do any sort of extra, like, retopo stuff. So we'll keep it like this for now, and we'll just get them all primed. Get him nice and round looking. He's a little big. He's a little chunk. So let's scale him down on the back here. I'm going to go up even higher. We just got to keep him kind of straight on the back. Make sure he doesn't wobble too much. And his butt actually comes up a little bit, so we're going to make sure that we get that settled. Is my whole webcam and everything moving? Because my desk is moving a lot. All right. So we want to pop up the top of this guy's head. Like that. Nope, hold on. Go back. Remesh and then pop the top of that guy's head. I'll go ahead and cut just a little bit into his neck. Make sure he has a prominent little ridge on his front. All cats have that. And then we're in. So, to the best of my understanding, that is the shape of the lion. I'll make sure to crease the arms when we make the arms. This part pops up a little bit. And this part comes in. There we go, just like that. Look at that. That's a boy. Just like that. This'll do. Okay, cool. So let's make the arms. Oh, they're like perfect little T's, which looks like it should be easy, but I think is going to be kind of hard. They come out like right here. And they just come straight down. Right? And then they come forward and they cup together a little bit. Painting this thing is going to be a nightmare for sure. But I guess we'll manage. Oh, he looks pretty awesome, actually. I sort of love this guy. Okay, yeah, that works. His arms come back a little bit right here. So let's make sure to do this. He has a little push on his back. The inside is hollow, as good as it should be, so we're looking pretty nice here. Oh, he's great! Okay, now he's got very thick thighs. Let's make those thick old thighs. They start about halfway down, so right here. He's got nice thick thighs, this boy does. So I want to say that looks about right. And then they just bend forward. This one's a little messier than the front for sure. So we'll have to sit and fix this. Come on. Come on, I know you want to work. That looks all right. So then we got to round out the bottom of it and make them look nice and squish. He's got it all right there. And then we'll go ahead and do some rounding. He looks so silly. I love this guy. He's the coolest. This is my favorite little boy right here. Okay. We'll call that about it. It looks like an Egyptian sphinx. Oh my god. Oh my god. He looks amazing. Oh, wow. I love him so much. He's my new favorite guy. Okay, let's make him a little tail. His tail is actually pretty big. So we'll say right about there, and I'm just going to keep coming out. We're just going to get that tail nice and out. In fact, I'm going to up our strength a little bit, and I think I could just do like a grab. We might just want to nudge this tail instead of doing it like this. Because it should be bigger than this, that's for sure. Like that. I'm messing up my scale a little bit. I'm going to fix that. Don't worry. I just need to get the shape first. The shape is like super critical for us. Honestly? I think I can live with this. That's a good shape. Okay, we're taking that. Let's go ahead and lower our strength down. We just want to sort of fix these edges. We don't want to really crease it too much. There we go. Okay. This is it. This is a little guy. So here's what we got to do. I got to make the creases. Let's finish up the face first before I start doing creasing and all that sort of stuff. Oh my gosh. I can't believe we've done this. He's so good. He's so lovely. Okay. So his face is a bit on the flat side. So let's do this. And then I'm going to flatten him with a clay strip. His face is a bit longer than that. Right there. We'll up this to 0.4 and we'll just give him a nice flat front face. His nose bends back a little bit like this, and then I think we're looking good. Okay. Now let's make some ears. Ears, ears, ears. And I think we're done after the ears. I just need to start doing the creasing. So we're just going to push up some ears here. They come like right here, all the way up. Like that. That's kind of what they look like. They're a little bit pointier on the end than this, but I think we can make that work. They're also a bit thicker than this, so let's do that. There we go. And now we just need to point them using a much lighter smooth than that. There we go. I think I will take it like that. They're a little, like, doughier than I want them to be. Like, I think this is going to be a little bit better for us. Hold on. Let's remesh it like that, and let's say it's this way. There we go. Keep them light, keep them humble. Okay, so now we do some creasing. So the creasing is where we're going to kind of make or break this whole thing. So let's be very careful with it. We want to just really crease those edges. We want to make it look like this was inflated in plastic chunks that were attached to each other by a hot glue gun. There we go, that works. The tail is really creased. The tail is like exceptionally creased. So we're going to kind of break the tail as much as we can on this crease. Oh, hold on. I messed up. The tail can't be creased like everything else because it's not symmetrical. So we're going to hold off to do the tail last. And then I will just spend a lot of time on the tail. But otherwise, look at this. We are sitting so pretty right now. There we go. Nice little cuff around the shoulder. If I do it a couple of times, it should round itself out pretty nicely. And then we need to do a seam all the way across the top and the bottom, but it's a reverse seam. And then we got to do the ears. So let's do the ears first. Ears are nice and just crisp. Super crisp ears. Okay, the ears do not want to go correctly. Come on. Just tuck in there, like you're tucking the kids in for bed. That'll have to do, I guess. The ears are definitely my least favorite part of this whole guy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and crease the nose just a little bit. And crease that mouth. I think our resolution is too low to be making creases like this work. So that's why we're getting this weird kind of stuff, but it'll have to do. Okay, so now there is a reverse crease all the way down the body. Very light, very subtle. All the way down the body. Let's get rid of our reference. All the way. Wow, I'm not good at this. Nice straight lines. Just keep it straight. There we go. Okay, never mind. The pool got in the way. There we go. Cool. So that is our crease along the whole body. And now we crease the tail without symmetry. We're done. This will be Mr. Lion. Done. And I'm going to have a real struggle trying to re-topo this thing, but we'll go for it when we go for it. That'll be an off-stream kind of thing, I think. So I think our best bet for this is I'm going to try and make a tiger pattern for this guy. Just a little like stripey whatever that I can come up with. And then we're going to put the eyes on as a texture. I'm going to overlay the eyes onto a pre-existing like stripe pattern. I think that's thoroughly cheap enough to sort of represent a company. I think companies would do something like that. So I think it works really well to do it like that. It's my favorite thing about 3D modeling is imagining that I am a corporation and getting to make decisions as if I were not myself. That's always fun. That always alleviates a lot of the like anticipation that you may have about 3D modeling. You sort of get to role play sometimes when you're making things. I suppose if you're making things in your style, you don't want to do that, but I don't really know what my style is yet. I think I'm too early to have a style, so I'm just kind of going. There we go. I'm just going to try and mess with these ears a little bit. There we go. Cool. So that's a lion, or that's a tiger. Is it the best tiger in the world? No, but he's my favorite tiger. Okay, let's make ourselves a little glass tiger. We're going to go ahead and click on you, and we're going to call you Tiger. And I'm going to add a shader. I think it has to be a wave. And we'll put a color ramp. And of course the color ramp has to go from Tiger Color 1 to Tiger Color 2, which is just black. We'll make it even darker than that. There we go. And to the best of my understanding, all I need to do is just hit this tone correctly. There we go. That'll do. Let's use object for our input so that we get the same input that we need. Object. Right, and that should be even on both sides. Yes, it is. And we'll put it on a triangle, and by that I mean a saw, and by that I mean a sign for sure. And we're going to go ahead and just do constants. And so theoretically, what I should be doing is upping the distortion to like 4, detail to like 1, hold on. Hold on, I'm a little confused about this. There we go. Now we can up the distortion. Distortion goes pretty high. Scale gets lowered quite a bit. And now I need to find ways to like flick it to make it like really, really light. How am I going to do this? I might even want to up the distortion a little bit more. Having a little bit of trouble imagining this. Okay, so how am I going to make this kind of chaotic? I could put a math node here. And we can divide until there's very little left. So we'll say divide by 4, divide by 2, divide by 1.1. That doesn't exactly do what we want, though. We want, like... What do we want? We want, like... square root. Or like exponents. Oh gosh, how are we gonna do this? We want a minimum. There we go. We want big long stripes, but we want less of them. So a different way that I think I could do this is by taking a color, a mix RGB, and popping in like that, and then we're going to use something a little bit lighter, and we're going to reduce based on that. So that's exactly how we want to do this. Let's take a Musgrave, I think. Pop you in here. Yes, exactly. Exactly what I want. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So the scale is going to come up a little bit. The detail is going to go down. Black chronicity is going to go up. Dimension is going to go up. And we're going to difference. The circles are definitely the worst part of this. Oh, Also, I should be using the object coordinates on here as well so that it's even on both sides. There we go. That's the part I wasn't thinking about. What are we looking for? We want... Nope. I think that might be as good as we're going to get it. It's actually pretty decent looking too, I would argue. Is it the best thing ever? No, but it looks all right. We can lower that scale a little bit. Nope, let's keep it as is. It's fine. That's it. That's our boy. Okay, so now we make him clear. How are we going to do this? We're going to go ahead and we're going to up that black just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and make him transmissive to some degree. Let's say 0.75, and his roughness is going to go up a little bit. Clear coat, no. Sheen, no. Specular, he's very shiny. He's very not rough. I mean, he's wet all the time, right? And now we want to make him brighter. Really, really bright. Really saturated, really bright. Little bit more on the red side. That's a little pool lion. Now, I need to add eyes to him. I need to add eyes to him. That's the troubling part. I mean, are we willing to say that he's cheap enough that he doesn't have the eyes? Sitting and doing a full texture job on this guy would take a long time. So I think for the time being, he's done. He is going to be Tiger Float. And I misspelled it. That's fine. That's how I meant to spell it. And he's here. Cool. Let's go ahead and pop him in the pool. How big is he compared to a person? Well, an adult human male should be able to ride him. So let's get back to basics. Let's get over here. How big is a person? That's how big a person is. Oh, he could just be huge, couldn't he? Okay, well, he's not gonna be that big. That's too big. He'll be like that. You could sit on that pretty reasonably, I think. And he looks pretty good. He's a little awkward. We're probably gonna have to fix him up a bit, but I'm not gonna do that right now. So let's put him in the middle of the pool and let's call it a day. There you go, that's our line. And by line, I mean tiger. I've said line every single time. Cool. Next. What's next? Next, we either gonna do chairs, pool sharks. Joe wants to see pool sharks. I can make you a shark like this if you really want me to make you a shark like this. Sure. We'll do it. We'll do it. We're going to go ahead and make it an icosphere again. Oh man, I think if I spent enough time, I could actually make this legitimately instead of using sculpt. For anybody that's a sculpting like main guy, apologize for calling that illegitimate. Joe is telling me not to listen to him. Joe, you don't understand. You say pool shark, and I say how high. Alright, so we got a shark. Sharks are pretty beefy boys. like that. Probably actually don't want him to look like that at all, because people have to ride him. So let's get him nice and round. And I'm actually going to divot his back a little bit. Like this. And we're going to go like that. And a pool shark has got to have kind of a flat nose, and it's a little off kilter. It's not at the bottom of the face. Okay, that's a narwhal. That's not a shark. So we need to kind of round out that nose a little bit and then come in where the jaw's supposed to go. Come in a little bit on the bottom because he's got to be pretty flat on the bottom. Sharks. Sharks have such a flat... Okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. Sharks have like that shape. So we remesh it and then we come in. And that's more shark-like. Bring it all in, and we got a nice little tube guy. It looks more like a whale than a shark to me. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to flatten this edge like that. Remesh, and then we will round it. And now we can make our little fin. That's all right. I don't want to go too crazy on it because people have to hold on to it while they're riding him. And if you've ever ridden one of these pool floats before, you know that they absolutely go mental. So we're going to keep it kind of on the simple side, I think, like that. Cool. But could probably be a little bit beefier now that I'm looking at it. Oh, we're screwing this up now. Come on. There we go. Just round out the bottom of that to make sure that it fits correctly. And that's starting to look like a shark right there. That nose is perfect. The body could use a little bit of work. Just like that. There we go. That's starting to look like a real shark. There we go. So we're going to push in on here. Just like that. There we go. That's the part you sit on. So now we just got to make the tail. Off the top of my head, I cannot imagine what a shark tail looks like. So I'm going to look up a shark real quick. Their tails, oh, they're pretty even. They're like a crescent moon. Some of them are not crescent moon shaped. I think I'm going to go for that one instead because the crescent moon seems a little challenging. So instead we're going to do a little bit of this, and I'm actually going to go ahead and turn on the Z as well. To the best of my understanding, this should work. So if I do like a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and then we're going to turn off that Z, and we're going to just work on the bottom fin a little bit. And then let's go ahead and fix them. We want to crease the tail a little bit. Instead of using crease, I'm going to use that so that we have a little bit more of a dramatic pull into the bottom there. And we'll remesh all that, and we'll do it like this. And then I'll go ahead and pop out the back a little bit. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Just like that. Ba-boom. Okay, so that is a shark. I'm going to keep the little ridge on the back there because that's where you're going to want to sit, I think. It's always hard to figure out where you're sitting on these sort of raft things. And honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I think this is not good. Let's fix that real quick. That's where you sit right there. So that's where the ridge needs to be. So we're going to go up and out. And now we can round all of this. And again, I now know how to do this, so I could just push that part in a little bit. Look at that. That's a shark. That's a shark. Should probably be a little bit taller, I think. A little bit taller, a little bit bigger. And I'll go ahead and round that out and hopefully not destroy it while we're at it. Oh, it's a little skinny. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Just like that. How am I going to make this work? That little end bit does not want to hold correctly. Let's lower this down to 0.3. We're working with kind of a little bit too much, I think. And the flatter each component is, the more simple it's going to be for people who make these things to construct it. It probably needs a little bulk right there. This little tip right here, this is like the real problem. You know what? I'm just going to let it go there. I'm going to say that's it. We're fine. Now we want the fins, and then we're done. So shark fins, nice and easy. Shark fins are super easy. So they're just fins, right? There's nothing crazy about shark fins. They just do what they do. They barely articulate. I'm not even sure how much control a shark has over its fins. It's a little bit more gradual here into the body, like that. And definitely near the bottom it's gradual. Okay. So now we just make sure that all of that is rounded on the bottom. We need it as flat as we can get it. And I think that's a decent looking shark. Again, I'm gonna have to sit and remesh this because it's got like way too much geometry for what we're doing with it. But it's also kind of lovely. Cool. So I think we'll call it there. Yeah, there's a bunch of little stuff on a shark that I'm not going to sit and model. There's no reason to. So we'll leave it just like that. I think I will put a little bump right there. Hello? I think I accidentally started Discord. It just put a pop-up on my screen. Kind of freaked me out a little bit. I didn't know what that was. We'll do it just like that, and I'm going to take just a little scoop. We're going to go right back. Just like that. And we're in. So here's Joe's pool shark. But you think I'm done with the pool shark now? No. We'll make more. We're going to do a little bit more on this shark. I'm going to just do the simplest thing I can even think to do for it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and log out of Discord now that Discord has opened. For some reason. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the edit. Let's grab everything. Let's UV and let's project from view. And if I go to the UV editor, we should be looking pretty good. We are. So I just got to make a shark mouth real quick. So let's do that. I'm going to export the UV layout right there to shark. And let's do this. So I'm going to make like a Spitfire shark mouth. So let's go ahead and open Krita. Let's open our folder. Let's see, where are we? We're in pool, and we have the shark. There it is. Perfect. It's sitting right there on the screen. Okay, Mr. Shark, you're about to be modeled. All right. Wow. Okay, Krita is up. I'm going to pop the shark into it, and we're going to get going. Here you are. The last brush I used is crazy because I was making some crazy art. So we're going to not use that. Instead, we're going to go to maybe a basic brush. That'll do. I accidentally painted something up in the corner there. I don't even remember doing that, but we're just going to pretend it's not there. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and Google a Spitfire plane real quick. What are those? That's not called a Spitfire. What's it called? A shark plane. Yeah, there we go, with the lips. Okay, so here's the shape of one of these planes. It's red, and it goes up, down, up. It's kind of got a Japanese sort of look to it, which is very strange given the context of which these planes were used. I won't say too much more than that, but it's a little strange that it would have a sort of Japanese aesthetic to it. Actually, let's not do that. We want to lower our size a lot, like a 10. And we want to go up and down and curve up and then come down. And it bares its teeth pretty hard. It actually, seeing it one more time, it actually looks like this. There we go. That is exactly the face that it has. So I will go ahead and fix all this up. Please don't use a big giant brush. Don't ruin the work that you just did. Okay. So that's a mouth. Now we want the teeth. The teeth rest in a black sort of border, but there is a tongue. And the tongue has a reverse of the bottom lip. So let's go ahead and fill it with black real quick. So it looks like this. Let's get really close. We'll catch that back here in just a second. I'm not going to do that yet. And then the tongue comes up like that. Just like that. We'll come on to the back and we'll just fill a little bit. Make it nice and sharp and cool looking. Oh, look at him. He is scary. Okay, so now we're working with a bit of a problem. I should have fixed this. You know what? I'll do it manually. It's fine. I can do it by hand. It's nothing I can't handle. So we got some gnarly looking teeth in here. It is so Japanese looking. I should really look at the history of these things. I'm sure like there is some sort of like reclamation history of this where after Pearl Harbor people felt like, oh fine, I'll use your culture against you, or something crazy. Like, what a strange little thing to have. Or I wonder, I mean, it's even possible, I guess, that maybe like Japanese art has sensationalized this post-war. I know there's a lot of Japanese like media that is basically symbolism for nukes being dropped on their countries. And by countries, I mean a single country. I don't know why I said multiple countries. Takeshi Murakami, very great artist, has a super cool book in his like Super Flat series. I want to say it's called like The Little Boy or something like that. And it basically talks about like how like Evangelion and like other very psychosocial media franchises formed from the Japanese view of being like powerless after having like nukes dropped on them. And I think it's a very interesting read if you're into that sort of stuff. Okay. Oh, actually, hold on. The teeth connect with each other. The teeth absolutely connect with each other. Takeshi Murakami, in general, is an artist that I think everybody should really kind of just be like exposed to. His work is like killer. I mean, he does a lot of like mainstreamy. I mean, nothing that he does is super mainstream, but he does like some kind of mainstreamy stuff. He's worked with Kanye a lot. He did the artwork, or at least he had a part to play in the artwork for I want to say Graduation for Kanye. Him and Kanye have been friends for a long time. So like a lot of people I think write him off as being like just like a dude that does like stuff, whatever, who cares. But no, his stuff is really deep. He's a really wild artist. I have a feeling that front tooth is going to look pretty bad once we actually see it like on the model, but we'll take it as we go. Okay, so the teeth go all the way back to the white here. So we'll do this. Make sure everything is nice and connected. And then we start coming up and doing the back teeth. Whoa, hello. It's me using my Blender hotkeys. I really got to change that to not do that. no, please. There we go. I also find it really wild that Takeshi Murakami is a artist who has basically made a whole career off of like just a couple of symbols. Like the symbology that he uses hasn't really changed a whole lot over the course of his career, and his career's been going on for, I don't know, like 20, 30 years. It's kind of wild to think about. Alright, so all we're doing is we're just making some teeth. Simple as this. And then we're going to come back. I'm going to say 3 is exactly the size that we want. I suppose part of what makes me start thinking about all this sort of stuff, well, I mean, it's definitely like the World War II stuff that got me thinking about all this, but this also kind of looks like the dummy plugs from Evangelion. The near the end of Evangelion, there's the dummy plugs. I won't spoil anything for anybody who hasn't seen it. Evangelion, please go watch it. Neon Genesis Evangelion. But there's these characters, we'll call them, that have mouths that look just like this. And now I'm starting to think there probably is something to this design. There's some like weird, like, there's some weird connotation here. Like Americans took a design and used it, and the Japanese, it like meant something to them, and now it's been sort of bastardized. I'm not sure. Red, I don't like anime that much. Also, Red, go watch anime. Look, I don't know how to explain it to everybody. I'm trying to think of any sort of analog. It's like saying that I like travel, right? I really like going on travel. I like traveling a whole lot. I think it's very important that people travel, especially in a world that allows you to travel. Obviously not right now with COVID, but like we live in a pretty travel positive world, all things considered. I don't want to go to LA. I don't care about LA. I don't want to go to LA. And so to say like, you know, oh, but you don't like travel if you don't go to LA. It's like, okay, I guess I don't like travel then. That's how I feel about anime. I don't like bogus anime. That's probably like a really rude way to say that. But I just don't care for it. I don't care for like, I don't know, Sword Art Online and Kill La Kill and My Hero Academia, and like I don't care about that stuff. It's too overproduced. It's too like it's so obvious. And like the twists, sometimes there's twists and the twists are cool and whatever, but it's like far flung. Like I'd rather watch an anime that I just like cannot wrap my brain around until I've seen it. Evangelion is amazing. It has its problems. There's definitely some like weird underage stuff that I don't really love. But like the majority of that show is just playing with expectation and just being like, you want to try and guess what's going on? And I find that really compelling. Another really good anime, since we're recommending anime, and I might as well put this out on record for everybody watching. Go watch Shinsekai Yori. I recommend it to literally everyone. It is, I think it's in the Valley of the New World, but it's called Shinsekai Yori. Shin Sekai, I want to say it is. It is the coolest anime in the world. It is, the premise alone is so interesting, but like not only is the premise good, they actually act on the premise and actually like made something good instead of just saying like, oh, we wrote a cool premise, now let's burn it to the ground. which is what I think a lot of shows do. Okay, so I made a shark. As I've been blabbering on, I made a shark. Let's go ahead and put a layer down here. And we're going to say that's a shark color. There we go. And now I just need to put an eye on this thing. I'll make a new layer for the eye, why not? And for the eye, we might as well stick to the theme that we got going on here. So I'll grab this red. And we'll go like that. And we'll do a really Japanese, crazy looking eye. I know I'm going to alienate a couple of people. If you're the kind of person that gets alienated by me saying this, too bad. Good luck. Good luck with your weird opinions. But occasionally, I like to wear eyeshadow in the corners of my eye. If I'm doing something, if I'm performing, whatever, something like that. Something big. And this is the kind of style I really like. I like this Japanese fox kitsune look. I think it's really interesting. I think it's very masculine. I think it shows off like the male form pretty well. Oh, fancy. See, Joe gets it. Yeah, that's my favorite thing to do to like very, very conservative people is like, hey, I'm a guy. I identify as a guy. Who cares? I'm not out here doing it every single day. I don't have the time, the will, the energy, anything like that. But when I can, you bet I can. Okay, so we got to do the reverse of what we were doing before. We want to say it looks like that. The little divot there, I think, is very important. Look, man, I was in theater. Wearing makeup is nothing new to me. Joe, honestly, I don't know if I'm surprised or not that you were in theater. If you gave me a bunch of guesses, I don't think I'd ever guess that, but now that you've said it, it makes a lot of sense. If it hasn't been said on stream already, my partner is a big old theater kid, and they are dual majoring in theater. Things start clicking once you know that, right? Absolutely. But yeah, we're very theater positive around here. We got a lot of that theatery sort of stuff. Okay, I'm going to keep the colors really simple on this. Like that. And part of me really wants to take this red and go like this. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I have a feeling I'm going to push this into Blender, and it's going to look a little weird. Oh, he looks good! Cool. So this is our... that's our UV. Let's pop it in. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to save it, because I think I will tamper with this later. Save as a Krita document, please. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and export this as a JPEG called Shark. And let's see what it looks like. Moment of truth. Please work, please work, please work. We got a nice smooth looking shark. It's got a little bit of weird divots on it. We'll fix those later. I don't want to do that right now. I got to do the repotopo anyway. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go to nodes. We're going to come over to the shark. I've already projected from view, so we're going to go ahead and render it with a image texture. And let's see if this works. Shark.jpg. he's so good. Oh, he's awesome. Okay, so we can fix him up a little bit. Oh, he looks so funny. Look what a good boy we have here. So let's go to edit. Let's grab him. Let's switch on over. So I'm going to grab everything. We're going to scooch his features down just a little bit. And I'm going to make him a little bit smaller. There we go. This should do it. So let's check that out. Oh, like, are the teeth really fucked up front? Sure. But I kind of love that. Oh, he's beautiful. Okay. Okay. We've done it. We've done it. We've made the most beautiful boy I've ever seen before. So let's get rid of some stuff. Specular's going to be high. Transmission needs to be pretty high. He almost looks like a luchador. He definitely has a luchador vibe to him. That's a really apt statement. And you can't really see through him, so let's go ahead and lower him down a lot. Very shiny, very wet man. Oh, he looks so good. Oh, he looks so good. And he like reflects his own mouth. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, he's so cool. Oh, he's so cool. I love him. I guess we should make him just a little bit translucent. There we go. That's Shark. While we're at it, we're going to call this Shark. Let's go to Tiger real quick, because I got to add a couple of things to Tiger real quick. 0.8, make sure that you're a little bit see-through. Transmission and roughness is correct. Roughness down to 0.1, make him really shiny. Specular's up, everything else is fine. Okay. Yep, everything else is perfectly fine. Cool. So we'll go ahead and throw him in the pool. Oh, I love him. Let's make him huge, too. No, not... Whoa, 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 whoa. Not what I meant. Okay, so he's in the pool. I think we're going to probably spend a little bit more time working on this pool next time we stream. Because I don't think I'm, like, perfectly content with how much we've done today. And there's certainly a lot of work that I need to be doing on this. So I think we're going to spend another day on the pool. But we still have 30 minutes, so let's do something for 30 minutes. What should we do? Joe, you got any ideas? Anything you'd like to see me do? As I take a nice big stretch. Nice stretch. I already have beach balls made. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and op-end a beach ball right now. Let's go ahead and file, op-end. Where is it? It is in piano room? No. Where's the beach ball? Where have I put that beach ball? Is it in multi-room props? Beach ball, there you are. And I just want the beach ball. We'll call you beach ball. Donkey Kong enjoying a coconut drink. Okay, so now you're trying to see if I will not take you up on an offer. And you found it. I'm not going to take you up on that offer. Shark float. Okay, so we have a beach ball. It could use a little bit of work, but I like this little beach ball. It's nice. Looks like a little pumpkin. So I'm going to do what all beach balls have ever done in their whole entire life. First off, I'm going to scale it next to the person. A beach ball should probably be right about there, I want to say. Maybe a little bit bigger. And every single beach ball that has ever existed in the world does this. They get stuck right in the corner. A really buff hairy guy with abnormally long and thick arms enjoying a pineapple drink, question mark? Joe, I know you want me to do a self-portrait of you, but I'm not going to do that. I really don't trust myself making people. I understand that what you're saying is a joke, but I also don't feel very comfortable making people right now in my career. My character design is definitely like the worst part. Tell you what, I'm gonna make a pool noodle. First and foremost, I'm gonna make a pool noodle. I mean, it's like the easiest thing I could ever make, right? So why not? And Joe, if you want some, you better sit and think about it. You better get serious. I suppose I should make the pool noodle shape before I start just going for it. So we'll say that's about right. And I'm going to go ahead and offset some circles into this guy and bridge them together. Pool noodle. A shifty looking cow. You know what? You drive an interesting point. You have given me a very interesting point. Am I going to make a cow? Well, one of my favorite games of all time, the TF2, as people may be aware of, does have a cow, does have a pretty common cow in a lot of their stuff. So, theoretically, I could make a cow. Let's see, we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6. And I'm going to grab near to a side. And we're just gonna mush you around a little bit and proportion that with a smooth. There we go. That's a pool noodle. Nice and done. If I look down into the tube, it should still go. It does still go. Perfect. There we go. Made a pool noodle. Done. Nice, easy. We'll call you pool noodle. Am I going to make a shifty cow? I think I'm not going to make a shifty cow today, but if you ask me another day, I will make you a shifty cow. Because I have a place that I could put it in-game. I do actually have a nice place that I could stick a cow. So we'll take a cow eventually. Today ain't that day. Sorry. And we'll put the pool noodle near the beach ball. Random theory states that you should try and randomize things as much as possible. But in reality, people associate space, especially in video games, people associate space based on likeness. And if you randomize things too much, it loses the, like, nostalgic vibe that they have. So sometimes you gotta just kind of do this. Put things right next to each other. You can't randomize everything. If you randomize everything, it's not random. Okay. You did say something interesting. You did say that you wanted like a cocktail drink. So let's make a drink. What is the beachiest drink that we can find? Let's look that up real quick. We're on Firefox. We're going to look up tropical drinks. there is the classic, isn't it? That's like the one. That's the one. That's the one we have to do. Certainly it is. Okay. Let's do it. So this is going to be our cocktail drink. Joe, what is your drink of choice? Do you drink at all? I have a hunch as to what your drink might be. You're like one of three kinds of people to me, and I can't tell which one. I have a hard time wrapping my brain around you sometimes. Okay, here's what we're going to do with this. We're going to go ahead and make a mesh of a cylinder. And we're going to make it nice and drink shaped. Make it real small. We'll make it a little bit bigger while we're working on it. Okay, so we want to go into edit mode. We want to grab the bottom of this. I don't drink, but if I did strawberry daiquiri, that was not one of my options. And do you not drink by choice, or you're just not interested in it? I personally also do not drink very often. A big part of that is that I have a really hard time getting drunk, and so it's not very fun for me. And I think of that as a good thing. I'm not upset about that. I'm glad that I'm not getting drunk all the time. But I really just can't get drunk. Like, I've been drunk maybe 3 times in my life I've been drunk, and it's been like extreme circumstances. I mean, it's been like insanity. The reasons why I've been drunk are like not normal. One of them, I was underaged, and without my being aware of it, I accidentally drank expired grapefruit juice, and it had like fully fermented because my friend's family were psychopaths. But it was awesome. I mean, it was cool. I just bounced off the walls for a little bit as like a, I don't know, like a 12-year-old kid. A few reasons. The biggest one is my dad was an alcoholic. Just don't want anything to do with that. Totally understand. I can totally understand where you're coming from. My dad, he struggled for a little bit with it. At this point, we're kind of just like whatever, but it never became like an issue of like violence or anything, which I know a lot of people have suffered from. So in that way, you know, probably not similar, but I understand what it's like having somebody in your family that's just kind of like, they can't be normal unless they're doing the thing. I think that would be problematic regardless of whatever the thing was. Anyway, I'm sure you don't want to talk about that, so we're going to move on from that. Okay, I'm looking at this. I'm not sure if the angle is correct, but we'll take it. Nah, it's all good. He's been dead for like 10 years now, all in the past. That's awesome that you can kind of just think of it like that. I think I really appreciate people that can just look at death and just be like, yeah, that's a thing that happens to humans. It's a little unfortunate when people have a hard time with death. It's perfectly natural. The people that feel that way are perfectly in the right, obviously. But it's always a little bit difficult to be like, well, it's normal. Like, people do die. It's just part of life, man. I love this shape a lot. This looks great. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify some of this geometry. as best as I can, hopefully. Look at that. We'll go ahead and supplement that by doing a little bit of extra geometry right here, just to really round out that shape. And now I'm going to dig on into it. Cool. So what we really want to do is we want to grab all of this and make a face out of it. And then we want to grab all of this. And I'm going to extrude it inwards, and hopefully we don't ruin our mesh here. Please, 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 please don't ruin the mesh. What? Why does extruding inwards ruin it? Okay, I guess we're extruding out. Not what I wanted to do, but we'll take it, I guess. What the heck? I don't understand at all what has happened here. If I remove this, if I delete this, we delete the whole thing. How, but they're connected. What are you connected to? Are they not connected anymore? They're not connected anymore. That is very weird. How did that happen? So these should be double lined all the way down, right? They're not. Joe has asked, what drinks do we think Joe would have liked? Joe, you strike me as one of three kinds of people. You strike me as a rum and coke. You strike me as somebody who orders a hard drink like whiskey or sake, but like you don't super love it, but you drink it anyway just because it's kind of like quote unquote your thing or whatever. Which like that sounds kind of negative. I don't mean it negatively. I've done that a lot. I keep trying to get into sake. Like I want to enjoy sake, I just don't. Or you strike me as somebody who like only drinks beer or cider. And like if people give you a mixed drink, you'd be like, "Nah, I'm okay." But turns out you're a strawberry daiquiri guy. Which is interesting. Alright, so we're just connecting a bunch of faces. We're connecting exactly 28 faces. Wish I didn't have to do this, but this is life. For whatever reason, the extrusion that we used didn't work. Which again, the whole like scaling stuff that we're doing today isn't working. Like I clicked a button or something. I messed some setting up. Extrusions aren't working correctly. Scaling is doing per object instead of separate object. Like I don't know what is going on today. I like them fruity drinks. Had some virgin daiquiris when I was younger, and they were amazing. Chef's kiss. For me, I am a really big fan of Jägermeister. My German ancestors would be very proud of me for that. I just love Jaeger. I think Jaeger's really delicious. And I like whiskey. I have to be in the mood for whiskey. So maybe once every like 45 years I'll drink a little bit of whiskey. Oh man, how am I gonna do this? I have to do the same thing all over again. Okay, whatever. What a shame. The extrusion should have worked. I'm a big fan of cider. If I'm gonna drink casually, it's usually a single cider, and I'm the kind of guy that sips on it for like 3 hours. If you try to get me to go drinking with you, I will either drink all of my drinks in 10 minutes and I'll chug them, or I will drink a single drink over the course of like a year. I don't think I've ever sat with like a cider at a party and finished the cider before it like becomes warm or whatever. So in that way, I sort of don't enjoy drinking because I don't like wasting money in that way. But I do enjoy a little bit. I think beer is one of the worst things ever. So you've had what, like 3 drinks of whiskey so far? Question mark. What does that mean? What do you mean I've had 3 drinks of whiskey? Is that a slight on people who like whiskey not having drank whiskey? Because I had a lot of whiskey. I actually, okay, I have some drinking stories. We'll share some stories here for a sec. I worked one every 45 years. I figure about 135, so... Oh yeah, you're right. I've only had 3 whiskeys. So I worked a really terrible job. I've actually worked a number of really terrible jobs. That's probably the thing I'm the most sensitive about is my, like, career and stuff. I've had kind of a weird career. If I could go over and do it over again, I would, but in the same vein, I also like who I am right now. So, it is what it is. But I've had a very weird career over the course of my life. And for a little bit, I did marketing at a games company. I won't say names. I won't talk about what it was. That's their own business. They can do whatever they do. But it was a very awful job. It was very manipulative, very, like, not cool, very cruel the way that I was treated, I would argue. They might have different opinions. That's fine. I don't care what their opinions are. But as a part of that job, we spent a lot of time in Orlando, downtown Orlando. I don't live near downtown Orlando, so I'm not worried about giving that place away. If you decide to go to downtown Orlando and stalk me, you will not find me. So good luck. But yeah, we spent a lot of time in downtown Orlando. And so we would go clubbing and stuff together, which is not something I'd ever really done. But it was just something that we kind of did as a group, and it was just, I don't know, like a bonding activity for us, despite how not cool everybody was. And so we would go, like, clubbing, and I would just drink, and we'd go to bars, and I would drink, and all sorts of stuff, and I was very depressed at the time. So, of course, I took advantage of it. And, it was just a really sad time in my life, but I had lots of really nice drinks, because Orlando has a really nice drinks culture. So, in one way, I'm kind of thankful for everything that happened, because I got to experience some really cool aspects of Orlando when, traditionally, I haven't been the #1 fan of Orlando. Not that I hate it, it's just I don't want to live here the rest of my life. But I can say with mega authority that Orlando is, like, such a cool place for drinks and, like, just culture and hanging out with people and stuff like that. If you're active, if you want to go out in the world, Orlando's nice. If you want to go hiking and you want to be, you know, hanging out, don't go to Orlando. Orlando's not for you. I'm at the point in my life right now where all I really like to do is go on bike rides and go on hikes. And Orlando is not great for that stuff. Okay, this glass looks super weird with that little extra knob right there, and I'm not loving it, but we'll take it for now. I want to say it's just like that, and then very clear. That'll work. Cool. That'll be our glass. Why not? And then the drink. Honestly, all I need to do for the drink, I'm going to make a drink right now. We're going to make a little drink to put inside this thing. All I need to do is I just need to grab that, you, all the way up to wherever we want to stop. Probably right there. And I am going to separate selection. We're going to do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to copy you. Then we're going to undo everything. We're going to paste. I'm going to go into edit mode. And we just want to shrink it down ever so slightly. Hello? Did I do it wrong? No, there we go. Now we're back. 0.98 is going to be our measurement for everything. And if I look at that correctly, we should just have double glass in there. We do. And I'm also looking at this, and I think I just want to go ahead and delete that while we're here. We'll get back to that eventually, I think. But for the time being, I don't need that. It's too weird looking. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab you, and let's edit you, and we're going to put a ring around you, and we're going to grab it, and we're done. So we can call you drink glass. We can call you drink. And let's go for it. So I have a drink in here. We can go, hey, it's wine. But I don't want to do wine. I want to do something interesting. While we're here, I suppose I should probably make this more see-through. Like 0.4. And if it's more see-through, we can up the transmission quite a lot. And we can set the roughness a bit higher, since the see-through is what's doing all of this instead of that. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, we've done it. We've made a drink. So let's go for it. So this is going to be glass. And now we make a drink. What kind of drink do we want? I think we want like a wispy sort of... We want like a wispy, maybe like a shark bite. Let's do a shark bite. I know shark bites kind of dissipate pretty quickly, but I think I can make it work. So we're going to go like this. We're going to choose a bright bluish. We're going to choose a red. Like a deep, dark, scary red. We're going to do it like that. We're going to use a B-spline to get rid of that white. I don't want to do it like that. I want to do it like that. That's a little too much for me. How do I get rid of the... I want less of that white. This should be fine. And then we'll go ahead and use a gradient. And I have a little trick up my sleeve. So we're going to do a linear gradient between the two of these. But the linear gradient needs to be texture coordinates, and it needs to be mapping. I'm actually going to use object coordinates. No, generated is fine. And we will tilt it by 90 degrees. Which didn't work. Why not? There it is. And we will raise you up a little bit. Which doesn't work at all. Okay, so the Z has to come up. Let's go like there. What the heck is happening? There we go. For some reason it's X. I have no idea why it would be X. But we'll do that. That works. And then we'll go ahead and do our little trick. So we're going to go ahead and add a color mix RGB. Just like that. And I'm going to add a wave. Where are you? A wave, and we're going to get it a little bit chaotic looking. Oh, look how perfect that looks. I don't know if you can hear my cat screaming in the background, but my cat is losing her mind. She must really love shark bites. She must be really into what I'm making right now. Okay, so we're going to do spherical, and if I plug the vector into this... Cat isn't being picked up, I don't think. That makes you sound like you want me to pick up my cat. I kind of want to multiply that color. No, not being picked up by the mic, you goofball. What are you talking about? What does that mean? There we go. That's the idea. So we got a little bit of a extra bit here. And I actually think the circle is not good for us, so I'm going to switch back to bands, and we're going to go to X, so it comes up on the sides like that. Yeah. That looks good. 0.5, get the bands up a little bit. So the noise the cat is making is not being picked up by your mic. Oh, yeah, no worries. I'm kind of glad, because it's not the best noise in the world. It sounds like she's been killed. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to make this as subtle as I can by lowering the scale and upping the detail a lot. And the distortion has to go absolutely crazy. That's a little too crazy for the distortion, so we'll do it like that. We got some weird little strokes on there. Yeah, that'll do. There's a shark bite. We've done it. I could put a cherry in it, but I'm out of time. So we'll have to do that next time. If I make this a little bit more gradual, I could reset that down to 0, and we could bring this up. And I wish it was a little crazier looking, honestly. That actually works. Okay, I can do this. So let's do 0.1. And that's it. That's a shark bite. Done. I'll take it. Could I sit and work on this for a little bit? Sure, but I'm not going to. So this is going to be it. So I'm going to go grab my cat real quick, and then I'm going to introduce the next segment. So for everybody that's watching Just Make and Break, thank you for today. It's been kind of a really quiet, slow day. I feel very tired, so it kind of matches the energy. But we're going to up the energy here now and do some Pyre, and I'm going to scream my brain off for 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and end the YouTube recording here.